Welcome to the another session of SS class. In the previous class, we have learned the heritage of India, its types. In that, we learned about natural heritage, and we learned that natural heritage is the gift of nature. It is the result of close relationship between nature, environment and human beings. And also we have seen that mountains, rivers, plants, animals, etc. are included in the natural heritage. In today's class, we learn about the cultural heritage of India. India is having a rich cultural heritage. We know that rich heritage is diverse and it is got by the people of ancient time to the modern period. We know that many people were attracted to India. Many foreigners were attracted to India, and among that, then ancient tribes, Kushans, Persians, Turks, Mughals, Europeans, among that British, French, etc. came to India. Because of the mutual interaction of these people, we have got a rich heritage. So, if we see the cultural heritage of India, it is a man-made heritage. It is a man-made heritage. It is a man-made heritage, and it is made by man with his intellectual. It is made by his tact, skill, ability, etc. He used his intelligence and made this cultural heritage. We can see the interaction of different cultures in the making of this cultural heritage. Then, people of India from prehistoric period have contributed to the people of the world. The art of architecture of India is 5,000 years old. Art and architecture is 5,000 years of old, and we can see the living example of this is in the Indus Valley civilization. So the remains of the figures of gods and goddesses, humans, animals and several toys, as well as sculpture of bearded man and the statue of a female dancer says the great heritage of India that we can see in the art and architecture. And all these things make us esteemed and pride in our cultural heritage. Further we look into come to the Mauryan period, we can see the figure of a bullock or lion on an inverted lotus and statue of Gautam Buddha, and the Jain Tirthankars, caves of Ajanta and Ellora of Rashtrakuta dynasty, etc. are the various examples of the next period. By seeing this heritage, we feel proud, glad and also respect for our cultural heritage. So in short we can say all these cultural things give glory to the nation. It is the identity of our nation. So India is identified by this cultural heritage, and we will see that what are the different things includes in this cultural heritage. So our cultural heritage accommodates palaces, buildings, sculptures, stupas, viharas, chaityas, temples, mosques, tombs, forts and gates, and even our historical places of our freedom movement like Sabarmati Ashram, Dandi, Bardoli, Wardha, Shantiniketan, Delhi, etc. can also be considered as a part of our cultural heritage. And besides, language, script, discovery of zero, mathematics, calendar, astronomy, iron, literature, religion, Yuddha Shastra, chariot, political science, zoology, botany, Vastu Shastra, religion, republic, judiciary, legislation, environment, protection, etc. are the important discoveries of India. It says that India have achieved development in all the different fields of life. That is why that is the contribution of Indians, and that contribution made Indian heritage very rich and varied. So we see that cultural heritage is a man-made heritage. It is whatever man is created by his tact, skill, ability, etc. is known as a cultural heritage, and it includes there's statues, temples, mosques, palaces, viharas, and historical monuments, etc. Then, so if we see the difference between natural heritage and cultural heritage, we can say natural heritage is gift of nature, and the cultural heritage is man-made heritage. Natural heritage is it is made by the close relation of environment, man and nature. But cultural heritage is created by man by his tact, skill, ability, etc. And both contribute in the heritage of India. Then next part we see is cultural heritage of Gujarat. So the places having cultural, legendary and archaeological importance are so many different type of places we can see. If we see the cultural heritage of Gujarat, we have archaeological places, religious places, pilgrimage places, social and tourism oriented places, Jain and Buddhist religious places, and also fairs also plays an important role in the cultural history of Gujarat. The places having cultural and legendary archaeological importance are Lothal, Rangpur, Dholaviram, Rosari and Srinagar, etc. The places of pilgrimage are Victory Tower of Vadanagar, stone inscription of King Ashoka at Junagadh, Sun Temple of Modhera, Gate of Jambanar, etc. Then again if we see the religious places, we have Dwarkadish Temple of Dwarka, Sharada Peeth of Jagadguru Shankaracharya, Somnath Temple, then 12 Jyotirlingas, Ambaji in North Gujarat, etc. And again we have social and tourism oriented places are Polo Forest, Kite Festival, Gangaria Carnival, Tanariri Festival, Ranolsov in Kutch, etc. Again we can see Jain and Buddhist religious places in Gujarat. They are Vadanagar, Taranga, Kambalia, Shamlaji, Koteshwar, Talaja, Dang, Jagadia, etc. So these are the important heritage places of Gujarat. Then different fairs having traditional, religious and social importance are held in Gujarat related to different seasons and festivals. Main festivals are Modhera Festival, Shamlaji Fair, Tarnindar Fair, etc. So different festivals also contribute, different fairs also contribute to the rich heritage of Gujarat. Then the next topic we will see, if the heritage has an important place to make India revealed to the world, then how we can done this preservation and conservation. What about the preservation and conservation? Heritage, the word tells us, heritage is the transfer of things what we got from our forefathers, and we also contributed into that. So from historic time to the modern period, each generation contributed. So it is our duty to preserve and conserve our heritage and keep its continuity. So in our constitution, Article 51 Article 51 A. Then the clause number 6, 7 and 9 describes about the duty of each and every individual regarding the preservation and conservation of our heritage. This heritage gives glory to our nation. So it is included in the Constitution in our fundamental rights. According to that, in the first sixth clause says, to understand the importance of our harmonious culture, prosperity and to preserve it. If we know about the importance of our culture only, we will preserve it. So it is very important to understand or study about our culture. Second is maintain the forests, tanks, rivers, ponds and the wild animals and birds along with maintaining the natural environment and to show compassion for all the living creatures. Like us, each and everything in the nature have to be protected, have to be maintained. Third one is the protection of public property and giving up violence are also included in it. We know that the violence is an important feature of our culture. So that is also our included in our fundamental duty, the protection of public property and giving up violence. The nature has created beautiful landscapes. We should maintain the purity, sanctity and beauty of these places, considering it to be our moral duty. So the preservation and conservation of our heritage is the moral duty of each and every Indian. Indian heritage is the outcome of the development of the people of India over a long period of time. We know that the nature has generously contributed to the prosperity of India. The main geographical features of India contribute to the importance or glory to the heritage. So we can say Indian heritage is the result of the development of the people in India in the social, economical, political and cultural fields over a period of 1,000 years. So today we learned that cultural heritage of Gujarat, preservation and conservation of heritage. Thank you.